with Keith Olbermann. And this is the part to me that's kind of confusing with what these guys are saying. So here's Keith Olbermann. I just texted it to you, Rob, a minute ago, and you put a thumbs up. Just go to replies right there. You'll find it. Go to replies. Yeah, if you go to replies, go a little lower. Right there. Second one right there. If you just click on it. There you go. Thank you.
Look at that. So
pardon Hunter, question mark. Great. Now pardon everybody else. Every prosecutor, every Biden administrator, every media figure, everybody Trump will persecute. 10 million pardons at least. Then I say, why do you seem so rattled by this news? By the way, he also says pardon me, like meaning pardoning him.
Yeah.
So this is a little bit deeply concerning because the definition, Rob, if you can go online and look up the definition of pardon, okay? I pulled it up. Just go to definition of pardon. Just type in definition, right next to the right definition of pardon. Okay, zoom in. The act of releasing someone from the legal consequences of a crime or an official document that does so, okay, of a crime. So what Keith Olbermann indirectly is saying is that Joe Biden's entire administration were criminals. That's what Keith Olbermann just said.
Yep.
Keith, you indirectly just said all Democrats are criminals. Maybe somebody needs to call Keith Olbermann from the DNC and just say, shut up, similar to when they made a phone call to Mark Cuban and said, Mark, stop talking about Kamala Harris and go on a Haktua podcast. Which I don't know if you saw or not. He was on a Haktua podcast.
And Pat, just going back to 6/6/24, Keith Olbermann, I sent it to Rob, but I'll just read it because this is his tweet now. Back then he said, here, no one is above the law. Not the rich, not the powerful, not the derelict. It's like, that's him. This guy is just alone. He's angry. He's bitter. And
by the way, believe it or not, people like this, there's certain times like you're going to do a business deal. And it's a big deal. And you have to make a decision who you want to take to be in that room when you're doing a deal.
Yeah.
And a group sits down and decides who's not going to make us look like an idiot when you're making a big deal, okay? If you're the Democratic Party, it's people like this that hurt your brand. Just so you know, this is not a good look, okay? I can listen to Bill Maher. As annoying as it was, sitting there and just watching him talk for 2 hours, and I spoke for maybe 2 minutes on whatever it was. I'm like, I don't even know what he's doing here. Watching Bill Maher sit there, and Rob, can you play this clip of Bill Maher, the one I sent you, not the other one, the one with Bill Maher and Jane Fonda, that he talks about California. And is this the one that says California?
That was the pregnant man one. This is the California.
Oh,
yeah.
The pregnant man one.
But watch this one here. I mean, you want... Okay, Bill Maher is still going to vote for Kamala.
1,000%.
But guess what? This is a better brand than Keith Olbermann, than Jane Fonda. This is a better brand for the left, but the left is destroying him.
Yep.
Like, if I'm a Democrat, I'm like, dude, can we have more Bill Mahers? Because at least he's getting people on the right that I want to. Just listen to the way he talks to Jane Fonda. It's like, woman, you sound delusional about California. Watch this clip here. Go ahead, Rob.
I believe that the state we live in, California, is lacking regulation. There's over 300,000 regulations. I mean,
Well, maybe they're needed.
They're not.
Just listen. Watch
when
what
I
happens
tried
here.
to put in a garage door, I had to have 3 inspections. There should have been none. I should be allowed to change my garage door.
Are you kidding? Really? It was about a garage door?
Absolutely.
I'm sorry. That is...
No, you know this about California. Come on.
I don't.
Well...
No, I don't.
Well,
I'm sorry. I don't.
You don't? You've never heard that California is overtaxed and overregulated?
Look at this.
That we are a one-party state where there's sort of no checks on that sort of extreme leftism. And what do you think?
I don't for a minute consider California a state that is extreme leftist.
Look, listen to this laugh.
Not at all, not any way.
Well, that shows where your politics are.
Yes.
That's not where mine are.
By the way,
In a bubble.
By the way, you know who she was married to? To the founder of
Ted
CNN.
Turner, right?
Oh, then no wonder
But
why.
CNN wasn't.
No.
Ted Turner wasn't that far left. That's as far left as it gets.
Oh, she's the
Ted
worst.
Turner was more Bill Maher than he was. What do you call it? Jane Fonda. his dream was to one day marry Jane Fonda. He did. But the moral of the story here is the Democratic Party, the Keith Olbermann position, leaning away from those guys. You have to sit there. Somebody in the Democratic Party has to sit there and say, hey, guys, guess what? What? Look at what Trump did. Don't look at who Trump went on. Whose shows did Trump not go on? Think about that question right there. Who wasn't seen as a close ally that he was comfortable being seen with? Why not? Why didn't he? You think that was accidental? There's plenty of people with a lot of eyeballs. Why didn't he go there? Why didn't he go there? There were some places he didn't go to. Because even him and Susie, is it Susan Wiles? Susie Wiles, am I saying it correctly?
Wiles, yeah, Chief of
Chief of Staff.
Even they are, do you think on a second run that he's going, maybe Trump is more at a phase that he says, look, I need to lean on some people for better counsel, and he trusts Susie Wiles where maybe he didn't have somebody that he trusted before. He says, hey, I don't think we go to XYZ. I don't think we go to some of these places. I think we plan all this out and we go to such and such. The Democrats need to sit there. No joke. If I had a room and I'm on the Democratic side, I'm going to say, let's rank the top 100 influencers on the left. Who are they? Okay, guys, those 38 are not Democrats. They're delusional. Nothing with those guys moving forward. They make us look bad, okay? Those 18 Democrats are really not Democrats. They're Republicans who are not willing to leave the Democratic Party because of their fathers or their mothers, the loyalty to their family. Like who? Joe Manchin is not a Democrat. He's a Republican. He's a center-right guy, okay? So then they have to sit there and say, okay, these are our people that we have to build up. And then you turn those guys into heroes. But they're uncomfortable doing that. Because here's a Joe Manchin guy you are a big fan of. You told me about Joe Manchin, 4.5 years ago? Yeah. Here's what Joe Manchin says about the pardoning and what he suggests Biden should do before he's out. Go ahead, Rob.
As a father, I don't know of a father that wouldn't have done the same thing. What I would have done differently, and my recommendation as a counsel would have been, why don't you go ahead and pardon Donald Trump for all his charges and make it, it had gone down a lot more balanced, if you will. I'm just saying, wipe them out.
What do you think this does for his legacy?
I don't know. From that standpoint, it makes it difficult.
But you know what he sounds like?
Yeah.
But you know what he sounds like?
Like a reasonable
Like
person.
a reasonable
dude.
dude saying that. So Dems need to restructure and get the hell away from the Jane Fondas, the Keith Olbermann, these weird people that you're giving a limelight to that are part of your party. They're making you look bad.
But would you I'm trying to think of it as a business plan, but at the same token, how would you go, who would be calling people like Keith Olbermann and be like, hey, dude, we don't control you. Shut the hell up and get your crazy ass. Rosie O'Donnell, stop making videos. You
don't do it that way.
You got to stop them. These people can't help themselves, Pat. You nailed it. If they had Bill Maher, Jon Stewart, Stephen A., because a couple articles came out a couple days ago where they're like, the left is looking for a Joe Rogan on the left. You're not going to find it when they have shit like that happening because these people cannot help themselves.
You know who's a Joe Rogan on the left today? Bill Maher.
I think so.
No.
He's the guy.
No, he is the Joe Rogan of the left.
Yeah, but is he influential enough to move the vote like how Trump did?
No, he's not as likable as Joe is, and he's not as versatile as Joe is, and Joe is not snobby.
Exactly.
Joe is the guy sits across from you who knows he's smarter than you, but he won't make you look dumb.
Exactly. He's
the guy that'll sit across from you and wants to make you look dumb. So it's not attractive. It's a different brand. But guess what? It's worked for him his entire life.
Of course.
So it's worked for him. So for me, I think Bill Maher is the Joe Rogan of the left. And he may not even like that. Like if you told Bill Maher, you're the Joe Rogan of the left, he's like, who the hell you think you are? I am the Bill Maher. And Joe Rogan is the Bill Maher of me. Like I came before he came. That's what he's going to be thinking about of himself.
Or Jon Stewart, I would say that he's in that category as well.
John is out though.
Yeah, he does
not playing as
appearances.
aggressive as John is kind of like at a phase of his life that he's not playing ball.
Right, one day a week. I think you make up a great point. Where does the Democratic Party go from here? So what we're looking at right here with Jane Fonda, who's basically completely irrelevant these days. I mean, her name hasn't been mentioned other than the song about the big booty, my anaconda don't want none, Jane Fonda, you know that situation. Yeah. But if you want a real life example of what you hear from the ivory tower coastal elite, you have Jane Fonda not even recognizing that LA or California might be a little bit to the left. Just a little bit. She's like, Where are you even getting this from?
Because she's rich as hell and she lives in the hills. She
How
doesn't
are
have
you
to deal with it.
completely that out of touch, to use a Hall & Oates song right there, to not even recognize that LA and California might be just a little bit to the left on taxation, on regulation? Here's a story right here. We said what they want to make a bathroom. It's going to cost $2 million.
Just by the way, just watch this clip.
Yeah.
Watch this clip when Bill asks about trans, and then he suggests to her, the problem is, Jane, you're only watching one thing. And then watch what she says at the end. Go ahead, Rob.
You really think men can get pregnant? You know, that kind of stuff. And I understand that a trans woman can get pregnant. That's different than a man getting pregnant. And the way they sort of insist on blurring that line is if that's some sort of reasonable social cause.
I've never heard about men getting pregnant. I've never heard about this argument. It must be some part of what you call the far left that is so minuscule that I, who am...
No, Jane, it's not minuscule, and I'm sorry, you can't throw this back on us. Yeah. I assume it's because you are locked into media that just never wants anyone in their audience to know anything sketchy about the blue team.
Watch this.
Well,
and
watch what she says. Credit to what she says.
I don't know.
Here.
I read two papers,
watch
and
this. Right here.
Yeah, maybe I don't. I should watch Fox News.
No,
I guess.
I don't.
What does she read?
Whatever.
Wall Street Journal.
But watch what happened. This is actually a very where we all go through this process at some point of our lives. You just hope you don't go through it at 87 years old.
Yeah.
Right.
She just went through it for the first time at 87.
I saw it live. Yeah.
But this is, I'm so glad that you played this clip because it's so important, because there's a lot of people out there, they're going to have to go through this. I mean, you saw Sharon Stone last week basically saying that the average American's an idiot if they vote for Trump. They don't go on vacation. They don't experience the rest of the world. Most people can't. They don't have the type of money to just go travel Europe and gallivant all over the other side of the world. This is the whole concept of why you trot out Beyonce, Oprah, J-Lo. They spent how much money on these people? Kamala's how much in debt? $20 million after blowing over $1 billion.
She texted me asking for money.
And then this is the reason that you look down on flyover country, this whole situation right here. That's why regular Americans, the Democratic Party used to be the party of the unions and the workers and the working man and the middle class. Now they're the party of Jane Fonda, completely out of touch. It's just sad to see.
In November, let me tell you what happened with November, with Black Friday, Cyber Monday, everything that we did. Absolutely amazing what took place. We have more people ordering stuff in a month of November than we did all of last year. Record-breaking month. I love the fact that people are we want 1 million people wearing Future Looks Bright gear. And this is probably your last chance here this week to order stuff that it gets to you before Christmas so you can sport some of this gear. We have the Merry Christmas hats that you can go order. Anybody that orders, the first 100 that order, we still have some ornaments left. The Merry Christmas ornaments and Future Looks Bright ornaments left for some of you that haven't. And we have this new gear that came out, which I wish you could feel this material.
Ridiculous.
Feel the material, by the way, what this feels like. Just feel the material.
Wow.
Even
what is that, velvet?
It's amazing. But on the back, what it says is Happy Holidays, crossed, Merry Christmas at the bottom. Incredible material. This is on the website. If you got a newborn baby, the onesies, and we got a few other these sweaters, Merry Christmas ugly sweaters. Rob, if you can put the link below, VT Merch, last chance, first 100 orders, you get the ornaments sent over to you. And stick around, I'm going to give you some intel on some of you guys that want to come and get, the Christmas trees with us.
What happened to the red Merry Christmas hat?
That thing went out.
Sold out.
Rob, did that sell out? Can you go to see if that sold out? I mean, I don't know what happened with that hat. To tell you what, is there still some left of that? Apparently there is, because that went off. By the way, the first 1,000 orders we sold like within 2 days when it came out. Yeah, this is hot, folks. People are ordering this left and right.
Hot route.
Merry Christmas with Future Looks Bright on the side. 1 million people wearing Future Looks Bright gear. I want to run into you everywhere we go. I want to see that gear being worn. Tag us when you do that. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.